Look, Titanfall 1 was one of the games that actually made me not feel like I regretted my purchase of a 8th gen console. I forgot what generation those were. The Xbox One and the PS4. The first Titanfall game was the first game that actually made me feel like, oh, okay, it's probably a good thing that I got this console. But then, ironically, I went back and got the 360 version so I could play with my friends, so even that got thrown out the window. But all that to say is I'm an OG Titanfall fan, okay? I'm an OG over here. And that being said, you would think I would get super excited about Titanfall 3 rumors and Titanfall 3 leaks, but actually, no. I'm tired, boss. I don't want to hear it anymore. Put it in my hands or get out of my house. I feel this way about a Bloodborne remastered. I feel this way about Titanfall 3. I feel this way about any kind of re-release of the original Golden Age Call of Duty games. Stop telling me it's happening. Just either put it in my hands or leave me alone. And just the other day, some new rumors came out about the Titanfall 3, and we're going to go over these things because there's now conflicting rumors, because apparently rumors and leaks came out that Titanfall 3 is real and that it's going to come out next year, and then Jeff Grubb busts out of the bushes and is like, no, actually those rumors aren't true. Titanfall 3 is not real. And I also just think it's funny that anyone takes Jeff Grubb seriously anymore, because this dude is the most inconsistent industry insider I've ever seen, and yet he's still treated as like a high tier industry insider. Hey Jeff, where's that Twilight Princess Wind Waker HD double pack? Hey Jeff, what happened to that God of War trilogy remaster? Hey Jeff, can you just stop, please? I saw someone on Reddit say that Jeff Grubb is basically what happens when someone's dad actually does work at Nintendo, and they actually did have like an inside news report once or twice, and now that means they think they know absolutely everything about everything in the industry. So like, they'll be right about 1 or 2 things a year, and then just be throwing things at the wall the rest of the year and expect to be taken seriously for everything they say. And it's so easy being an insider, because all you have to do is be like, hey, my source told me this. Ooh, my source told me this. My source told me that. And then if you're right about something, you're like, yeah, I'm a great source myself. And if you're wrong, you can be like, well, listen, that source was bad. It's not my fault. I still have the inside sources. And then you just rack in the Patreon money. It's so pathetic. Either beat Tom Henderson or go away. Tom Henderson is literally the only insider I think is actually legit these days, but that's a whole different topic. But I want to talk about Titanfall 3. I want to talk about the leaks. I want to talk about the counter leaks. And I want to talk about why all of this is ridiculous and I'm just tired of hearing it. And because I'm so tired of hearing it, we're going to take a little break first. Here's a word from our sponsors. Yeah, there's no ad read. This is a re-edit of the video. There's no ad read here. You can follow my band on Instagram if you want. Or don't. This isn't an ad read. Yeah, okay, bye. So this all started in early April, where 2 different Apex Legends leakers started saying that Titanfall 3 was real, it's going to come out in 2026, and it'll be the full deal of it'll have multiplayer, it'll have campaign, it'll be tied into Apex Legends more closely this time around, because obviously Apex is the moneymaker these days and Titanfall is not the moneymaker. Oh gosh, Joe, why didn't Titanfall make any money? Oh gosh, Mr. EA, maybe you shouldn't have put it smack dab in the middle of Call of Duty and Battlefield. Maybe you shouldn't have done that. Maybe it's not the game's fault, you big dumb ape. But then a few days later, Jeff Grubb comes out and is like, nah man, these leaks, they're totally not real. Which I just think is kind of funny, because how do you take something that there's no evidence of and then be like, trust me guys, that stuff's not real. I have evidence that there's no evidence, and I won't show you the evidence or the lack of evidence, but trust me, my story with no evidence is more trustworthy than that story of no evidence. Like, how fucking slow is the news cycle right now? But assuming these leaks are true, that means Titanfall 3 would presumably be revealed this year. I've heard some people say that it's going to be revealed at the Game Awards. Like, the current story is that it'll be revealed at the Game Awards and then launched in 2026, assuming it's all real. And frankly, I think that's a good idea, because with Apex Legends kind of tanking, but also at the same time reviving interest in this universe, and also Battlefield tanking and kind of on its way to a revival, also with Call of Duty completely tanking, and in the multiplayer sphere at least, in the respawn shooter sphere, the Battle Royale seems to be doing okay. I've been playing a bit of Warzone Verdansk, as someone who had like 700 hours in the original Verdansk. I couldn't resist to download it and give it a shot, and it's fine. It's okay. I don't see it bringing Warzone back to where it was before, but it's not miserable. But EA is probably looking at the state of Call of Duty and being like, ooh, there's some opportunity there. The same way that Ubisoft was looking at Call of Duty and was like, ooh, there's some opportunity there. Here, have X-Defiant. Psych, we're taking X-Defiant away because we don't know what the fuck we're doing. EA does have a new Battlefield game coming out, but I think there's also going to be some recognition of the fact that a more direct competition to Call of Duty in terms of the Call of Duty game flow, because I think Titanfall and Call of Duty were much closer in game flow and moment-to-moment gameplay experience than Call of Duty and Battlefield are. That's just my opinion, at least. I could be wrong, but if you're EA in this situation, my point is that you probably want to put all your chips on the table right now with Call of Duty being extremely vulnerable. It was recently revealed that Xbox is doing their big showcase for the summer, and Call of Duty is not getting a direct. And right now, there's not even a Call of Duty game for 2025 confirmed. I'm sure there will be one, there have been tons of leaks about one, but my point is that the multiplayer side, the 6v6 side of Call of Duty, that audience seems to be completely up for grabs right now, as evidenced by how strong X-Defiant was in the beginning. If X-Defiant had stuck to its guns and, continued its momentum, I absolutely believe it could have overtaken Call of Duty, and the failure of that game is 100% on Ubisoft. We also know for an absolute fact that Respawn Entertainment works extremely quickly compared to other developers in this industry. I mean, they developed Jedi Survivor in 3 years? I mean, Titanfall 2 was developed in 2 years, but it seems like Respawn is really, really good at pumping out sequels. Bugs notwithstanding. I know Jedi Survivor wasn't that. I know Jedi Survivor had a lot of technical issues at launch, but in terms of just the raw game design and getting a sequel out the door, if EA saw this opportunity and came to Respawn and was like, hey, we need you to make Titanfall 3, I absolutely believe they could turn that around and get it out in year and a half, 2 years. I mean, all the assets are already there. Apex Legends is already there. It's not like they would be reinventing the wheel. And also, according to Respawn themselves, Titanfall 3 was in the works at one point. So it's not like they're starting from square zero here. Titanfall is also in an odd situation because despite the game being such a financial flop, it's also a game that has garnered a ton of praise over the years, a lot of retroactive attention. It's constantly called one of the best FPS games of the 2010s, if not of all time, and it's actually maintained a pretty healthy community on the PC. I'm not sure what the console numbers are like, but the PC numbers are actually pretty healthy for a game of this age. Respawn's also been quietly releasing updates over the last year or two for Titanfall 2 on PC, stability updates and playlist updates. So it's not like they've completely abandoned the franchise. It's not like they're never going to touch this series again. And I'm trying to lay all the chips out here because on one hand, I am so tired of hearing about Titanfall 3 rumors. I'm so tired of hearing all the Titanfall 3 leaks and, oh look, it's really happening this time, Joe. Here's the carrot in front of you. Come lick it with your tongue. And I'm just like, Titanfall. And then they take the carrot away from me and shove it in my eye socket. I'm so tired of that happening. So I don't want to get excited for any of this. But that being said, the timing is extremely suspicious for this to be happening, and the timing makes a whole lot of sense for this to be happening. It looks like Apex Legends is on its way out. Not on its way out entirely, but in terms of being a top tier live service game, it's absolutely on its way out. These Steam charts are bad. They're good for any other game, but for a game like Apex Legends, where the numbers used to be significantly higher than this, these numbers are not good. And it doesn't look like anything they do is going to fix it at this point. That's not a bad thing. This game had a really good run. But if you're EA in this situation, you're looking for a refresh. Titanfall 3 would be your refresh, especially since Call of Duty is so vulnerable, especially since X-Defiant proved that Call of Duty's audience is completely up for grabs. If you can just give them what they want, which is a solid, fast-paced 6v6 respawn shooter with lots of grindable elements to it, and more laid-back matchmaking. And I mean, Black Ops 6 had more hype than any Call of Duty game in years, and it's fallen off pretty hard. It's still doing better than people like to say it is, but it fell off pretty hard, and like I said, Microsoft seems to have absolutely no hustle to promote a follow-up. So all of this makes sense to me. All of the timing makes sense, and that makes me angrier about the leaks in the first place. I'm tired, boss. I don't want to deal with this anymore. Put it in my hand or get out of my garage. And then there's the parts of me that are just worried that Titanfall 3 would be utterly ruined by EA's interference, because this is a company that, and like, look, I'm going to extend a little olive branch to EA here. A lot of people yell at EA for not greenlighting and not funding Titanfall 3 up to this point, despite Titanfall 2's praise, despite the demand for Titanfall. EA still hasn't funded it. But to extend a rare olive branch to EA, the reason behind that is pretty straightforward. They funded 2 of these games, and neither of them turned a massive profit. And you can blame whoever you want for that. You can blame the release dates, you can blame the competition. I personally blame the release dates. 100% I blame the release dates for Titanfall 2 at least. But at the end of the day, this was a franchise consisting of 2 games that could not have been very cheap to produce. Neither of them turned a huge profit. I don't think it's hard to understand why EA has not demanded a 3rd game, despite the demand for one from gamers. If you're at the top of EA looking at things from the top down, looking at the money charts, it's not like hard to understand for me why they haven't done this before. Especially when Apex Legends, a comparatively cheaper game, is making so much money. That being said, a lot of stars are aligning right now for Titanfall 3. Apex is falling off and the universe needs some kind of jumpstart. Call of Duty's audience is entirely up for grabs, and we're really riding like the nostalgia wave right now. A lot of games are getting legacy sequels, legacy reboots, so the time for a long-awaited sequel to a game like Titanfall 2, I think that like the mere existence of a long-awaited sequel would add some more hype to it. I'm definitely worried that EA is going to sign off on this project and then be like, well, for our own financial security, given the disappointment of the first 2 games, we're gonna have to shove more microtransactions into this one. We're gonna have to shove more money wallet hoovering into this one in order to make sure it's not a disappointment like the last 2. I definitely worry about that. And I also worry that maybe Respawn Entertainment's getting a little overworked right now. They already canceled the Star Wars FPS, which was kind of out of character for them. And we all saw the state that Jedi Survivor launched in. We've all seen the deterioration of Apex Legends over the years. I'm definitely starting to worry that Respawn's getting overworked. Which sucks because they're one of my favorite developers in the modern gaming industry. They work efficiently, they put out consistently good products, technical issues notwithstanding, business issues notwithstanding. The products themselves, the core design of what they make is very good. But seeing how everything is playing out right now, it does make me a little worried for the future of Respawn Entertainment, especially if Titanfall 3 comes out and it's not up to EA standards. I hope I'm wrong about all of this. I hope everything turns out okay. I hope the game ends up being real. And frankly, I would honestly just get a hoot out of the game being real now just because Jeff Grubb said it's not real. I'm such a petty bitch when it comes to fake gaming insiders. I want Titanfall 3 to be real even more now just because Jeff Grubb said it's not real. But good golly gosh. That's all I have to say on the matter at this point. Doofus Club time. Joe from Seattle has not so big P, The Return of the King, Upside Down, Gurundai, No Pon Po Kopi, Non Pon Po Kona, Partial Mean 8, Wild Gamer 3001, JJ Dusty, So Many Fent Behind Blockbuster, Moltheme, Binary Deviant, Vox Alto, Cloaked Onyx, Ed Omega, JJ Dusty, Hail Denuvo, Pub, Cod Stop It, Codman 4372WX, The Gamer 127YT, Joe, if you tried Crowd Champions, Father Joe, when are you joining Voice Chat, Celarot, Gold Pyrac, Zombie Fan, Alderotho 1, Penguin Piss, Ultimate Jack, Doug Nig, Z Blast 1314, Snake Eyes 327, Devastator 2000, Edge Knight 1789, Raptor 1, it's Gamer Word, not Gamer World, get it right, Joey, Sad Your Freighter, MK2396E, I'm still in the moat, Joe, please get help, Hentai, X Machina Gamma, Elite Wolf, Fire Hazard 105, Epion 504, Klepto Penguin Banshee, DWXSS, Doom Kaiju, Rast the Wolf, Emco, OK Toodles, Tech Gaming, Jungle Zone, Slim Jim, Really Zuri, Gaming with Dead People, Banner Fondue, All Games Video, Japanese name I can't read, Max Killer V2 Gaming, Biscuit 1101, PS5 has Infinite Bacon, Horizon Forbidden West Remastered, Pope Raphael the Racking, Jessica Shepard, Ricky Spiral, Ricky Tiki Tabby, Muskie, Watch Tangle for the first time since I was a kid, it's good, Kareem the Steel Angel, bought 10 subs, now I can't afford to switch to, Smash Jump, Sergeant Jason Bond, Baron Von Vaderholm, Cyrus failed the homework and launched me, Joe forgot to change my name, now I can't afford to fix it, you text him 940, is anti-establishmentarianism, Joe from Feet Town, Hinoka's number 1 Sonic fan, Creed Warrior 23, Max Chef, Herman's, Nintendo Defense Force, Reaction, went chap, fuck, Totally Insane, Even Dota, Autry, Black Cobra, Night of Cypher, Reborn, Me with the Fan Art, ML04, I own 6 copies of Clue 2006 on Blu-ray, but the Fan Art, Switch 2 is more of a skin than the PS5 Pro, Wolf of Midnight, Sick Rider, Big Venus, Kev Dog 992, Sequence Studios, Film Kraken, The Beasoms, Own Game, Tariq Brown, Tom Spokane, Hero Culture, Thorns Skate, Mag, Next Ever, Mr. Spalino 3, Mr. Spalino 3, it's the guy winner for Wine Mix of Pow Pow, Wide Trouble, Donnie Weston, Nick Donegan, Gobson, Gobson, Rogue Winter 919, Bobby Hinder, Grimsy, Sengoku Rants, I'm losing my mind. Oh, my mouth is so dry. Hangman for Hire, Elder than the Noble, Frost Crystal, Jimmy Chops, Biogenesis, Ian in Action, Floppy Pinkus 97, Mango Key, Manga Key, Kushka, the Scoopy Skull, Ghost Ho, remember to tell Nintendo, lower your prices. The Jojo 6, Vasco, Femtega, Raptor Tim, The Amazing Blatman, Blue Hook, Joe, the Steam Deck vs. Switch 2, Minds Runneth Over, Snorlax, and I'm high as a kite as I write this, Jody Brees, Meeting Worker, Jaeger Man Jansen, Max Floro Massimo, Make Advertisement, Diego Garcia, my fanboy roommate is my favorite game, JJ Dusty, 8 My Kibikins, I American Idiot, Rebel Blend 80, Omanko Taco Oracle, I ordered pizza from Papa John's, Oh No with Justin, Rand Roy, Toonie Wayne, Bloodline, Extreme Wolf 7, Joey Scoops, my name is Mud, Joe Taku, Joe licked my feet, now he won't call me back, I want to be your condom, so pull me over your head and blow me up, want to be Hobo, Jidge, Westa, Philip Dudenchar, Rob C, I Am Veg, The Groove Banana, Curtin Allen's back, the Scrum Master, Bloodborne 2, 10 years, no port, Boogaloo. Oh my goodness, golly. I think that was the fastest one we've done in a while. Fastest one we've done in a while. Okay. That's the end of the video now, Toodles.